There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Marketing Me Live. We are live today for Camarines Tour Polytechnic Colleges. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And today we will have speakers discussing. They will be from Innodata, IQEQ, and Makati Medical Center. So before we start, we will invite everybody to join us for the prayer and the national anthem.
Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. And now let the weak say,
for that, Tech. So to everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome again to our career talk. So now to deliver the opening remarks, we'd like to call on Miss Maria Chiara Sapinoso, Coordinator for Guidance Services, to give us the opening remarks. Ayan. Miss Chiara, will put you up. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Miss Shari. Thank you very much.
The
To
spotlight is
our, all right. To our compassionate, supportive, and ever dynamic college president, soon to be university president, Dr. Charlito P. Cadag, to our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Estelito R. Clemente, to our Vice President for Administration and Finance, Miss Nancy Penetrante, to our Vice President for Research, Research and Extension, Production and Entrepreneurial Development, Dr. Teresita Salazar, to the college deans, unit heads, faculty and staff, to the CEO of Jobs 180, Mr. Kim Chua, and the staff of Jobs 180, to our esteemed resource speakers, and to our graduating students at this full morning. I'm pleased to extend a warm welcome to all of you at this important event, the Labor Education for Graduating Students. This yearly event strives to provide our graduating students with the knowledge and understanding they will need to understand the vast, uncharted cosmos outside of the school. It is anticipated that when they begin to pack for this adventure, these graduates will have the right attitude toward life and be able to translate it into the best behavior. They should feel safe and confident in the knowledge and values that the institution has instilled in them. So, to our dear graduating students, please pay attention and take notes during the sessions scheduled for this morning and later this afternoon. This is very important because you will be participating in a job fair activity in April, which is next month. So, yes, you heard it right. The Center for Guidance Services, in collaboration with Jobs180.com and various agencies, will be conducting job fair activity to help you land your dream jobs. So, as you learn, graduating students, take it easy and enjoy the sessions. So, once again, greetings to each and everyone, and welcome to the one day activity on labor education for graduating students.
Thank you for that, Miss Kiara. And thank you so much po for helping us organize this activity. Thank you, Miss Kiara. I'll put you backstage, ma'am. And then today, to deliver the inspirational message, we'd like to call on Dr. Charlito P. Cadag, College President for the Camarines Sur Polytechnic Colleges. Dr. Cadag will put you up. And sir, you have the spotlight. You can now share your screen if you have any presentation.
Thank you, Miss Shari, our MC moderator. How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you. Thank you for being with us in this important event, particularly, I mean, this activity concerns, of course, the welfare of our graduating students. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you once again.
Sir, I've been told you have a presentation.
Oh, wala naman.
Wala.
Wala naman.
Okay. Sige.
I'll
Okay
just
po, sir.
deliver
I
a
leave it
message.
to it. I have this. You have the spotlight.
Yeah. Thank you. A wise man once said, one important key to success is confidence. An important key to self confidence is preparation because success begins with ambition and ambition begins with action. Foremost, my warmest greetings and felicitations, of course, to all the college officials who are present in this virtual event. I would call them my superb and amazing powered team. Dr. Estillore R. Clemente, the Vice President for Academic Affairs. Our two Vice Presidents have equally important concerns, and so they cannot join us today. Ms. Maria Chiara Sapinoso, Director for the Center for Guidance Services. To all the distinguished speakers and lecturers who are truly able and experts on their fields. By the way, I also would like to greet the deans of colleges if they are with us, the directors, unit heads, and even the program chairpersons if they're joining us in the virtual room. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Mr. Kim Chua, the head of Jobs 180, together with Ms. Shari Lopez, Ms. Marvi, and the rest of the team from Jobs 180, to the staff of the Center for Guidance Services and Organizing Committee, Jobs 180, to our graduating students who will soon be leaving the portals of your dear alma mater. Proud parents, friends, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. My heartiest greetings and felicitations to one and all. Happy Women's Month too to all the women in this online event. Learning is indeed a lifelong journey. As we step into the realm of the demands of the modern times, we remain novel, innovative, transformative, and flexible in facing these challenges. Jobs 180 is one of the top leading sites for job seekers, and I, as the SUC president of the CSPC, soon to be named as the Polytechnic State University of Bicol, I'm very elated to have you with us here. I know and I am pretty confident that our graduating students will be able to have enlightenment on what is the importance of getting planned for their future. Today is another momentous event that will be imprinted in our history as an institution of learning that continuously adheres to the mandates that we live up to. And that is, of course, aligned with our mantra of excellence and transformation. We are gathered here to celebrate your feats in finishing all your undertakings in your academic journey. You have immersed yourselves in the different lectures and training which provided you effective practices. And today is the conclusion of your hard work. As an individual, it is essential for you to be strategic and to be open to new ideas. CSPC's mantra of excellence and transformation runs in our system. Everyone in CSPC remains focused and driven to stay on the path towards excellence. Although there may be obstacles along the way, we remain the sense of resiliency and adaptability. At the end of this event, I assure you that all of you will be acquiring the core skills and information necessary for a very successful search for jobs and fulfill the precise hiring standards of your selected profession. I know for a fact that venturing into this path is a daunting task. It is never easy, but for sure, you guys will endure. It requires passion, hard work, strong determination, and commitment. And I hope you will keep this in mind and in your heart. Note that there are three basic skills that you have to master. You need to be equipped with the conceptual or the theoretical skills, the technical or the practical skills, and the people skills. And as professionals, you need to imbibe these skills in order for you to tread towards the path to excellence. As you leave the portals of your dear alma mater, we are very confident that your professors, the institution in general, have prepared you after all, especially with the tools of the trade, so to speak, as well as, of course, your values, and your attitudes. And so, I congratulate each one of you for accomplishing another notable achievement in your life. May this be a stepping stone in your journey. As future professionals, always remember that the Camarines Sur Polytechnic colleges will be right behind you. I confirm and affirm your success will be realized or will soon come into fruition. Long live to all of us. Mabuhay tayong lahat. God bless everyone.
Thank you for the inspirational talk, Dr. Kadag. And we thank your team for helping us organize this activity. So, sir, I'll put you backstage. Yeah. So to everyone, thank you so much. To Miss Kiara, to Dr. Kadag, for without them, this event will not be even possible today. So as usual, to our audience, we welcome you to our event this morning. Please keep on commenting your name and your course so that we have an insight on who our audience is for today. So please be reminded that attendance and evaluation will be released at the end of this webinar. So please tag your friends so they don't miss out on this event today. Recordings of this webinar will be posted in the jobs180.com Facebook and YouTube channel. So to everyone, here is our schedule for this morning. So jobs180.com will be discussing job applications using the resume link. For Innodata, it's acing the interview tips, and dressing up. For IQEQ, they will be discussing hiring in the new normal. And Makati Medical Center will be discussing top skills employers look for. Ayan. So shout out to everyone who is here. Thank you so much for joining. As we go along, we encourage you to put in your questions so we can read it and address it to each speaker's talk po. After their presentation, they will be doing the question and answer. Ayan. So let's go to our first speaker. Our first speaker for this morning is Sir Kim Chua. He is the managing director for jobs180.com. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, and business process and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker and he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So, Sir Kim, you know the drill. Please take it away.
Share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang daming mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply. No? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Diba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Mukha lang akong salesman pero libre po ito. Okay? So this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called Resume Link. Resume Link, by definition, is the most secured tool for job application. Okay, this is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com and that is where you now register. Okay, as you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay? So, as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobsonit.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Na huwag kayo malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik na rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J. O kaya J Santos. O kaya JS. Di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, huwag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay, cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have your resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po. Ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobsonidiat.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocket Mail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay, in short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay, so use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay, remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs on 80. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po ma-receive yung mga notification ng mga company. So, sayang naman, di ba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step after you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password. Na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas nami-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba? Hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba? Antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Paano kung yung HR hindi naman hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put all the possible means na pwede kang makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo, no? Willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi perkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi perkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit, at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pang mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, dalawang lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Chabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, diba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. Diba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese. Kung ano man yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency, no, ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yan talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, eto pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Etong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung mga tinatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, diba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba. No? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, O, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende kung ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende kung ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba, na napag-aralan. Diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig. Diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari, nasa biyahe. Diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing pa with the resume link is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, di ba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen nyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, yung mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, hindi yan, wag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Wag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the resume link is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So, ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae, in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+. Okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think, babae ako. Di ba? Eh, pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris. Nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick. Di ba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Di ba? That's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kompleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. Diba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingin pa sa ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang applicant na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. you're probably thinking, Sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga ta tinawag na the most secured tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at dun ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to share your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo i-on or i-off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information. And in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yan ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobsonit.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? O kaya ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobsonit.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobsonit.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so ano gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobsonit.com, send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file. Diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na may HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you'll do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras siya, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? O sige, another one. For those who wanted a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka, when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O, di ba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So, kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, di ba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O, di ba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O, di ba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa, for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it, depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin. Diba? So, depende. So, maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so, after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20, bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung buong details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, doon pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet, kailangan ng pang-load? Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, di ba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Di ba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, di ba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anong version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide from north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control, sino bibigyan mo nun? Ikaw lang ang magbibigay, diba? So ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yan gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs 180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala. Anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real-time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontak ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details nyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. O ha? O, 'di ba? Char lang 'yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay, so check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chu. Wa. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Kim. There you go. So, to our audience, if you have questions, you can now put it in the comment section and I'll be the one to answer them. Unfortunately, Sir Kim won't be able to join us for the Q&A today. So, sige po, if you have questions, you can put it in the chat and then I'll answer them. Ayan. So, just a couple of reminders to everyone. So, please be advised that the attendance and evaluation will be released at the end of this webinar. So, that form is under the control of Miss Kiara of the guidance office. Ayan. So if anything, once the form is released, please make sure that you have successfully filled it out so that your attendance is recorded. Ayan. So making sure that there's no question from the crowd. Ayan. So ibig bang sabihin nito na intindihan nyo yung discussion a while ago. Ayan. So if there's no more questions, I'll go ahead and introduce the second speaker. Ayan. So for our second speaker, we have acing the interview tips, and dressing up. So this will be discussed by Ms. Shena Marie Filomena, Talent Acquisition Lead Associate for Innodata. Miss Shena graduated BS Psychology at San Sebastian College, Recoletos de Cavite. She has been working as a HR professional for 4 years now at Innodata Knowledge Services Incorporated, which is one of the pioneers for work from home arrangement with flexible and highly promotes work life balance. So let's welcome to the screen Miss Shena Filomeno. Hi, Miss Shena. Good morning. How are
Hello,
you?
good morning.
And ma'am, audio and video looks good. Can you just put your deck up?
Sure, sige, I'll share my screen.
Yan po. So right now, ma'am, we have a mix of students joining us. There are people from education, there are people from engineering, technical vocational courses. We also have them on our live broadcast over at Facebook. We have people from IT. Ayan. So, ayan, ma'am. I saw your presentation. I'll put it up. Ayan, ma'am. So, ma'am, your deck is up. I leave it to it, and I'll be back for the Q&A in 20 minutes. Thank you, Miss
Yes,
Shana. You have the floor.
thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So I hope you had a good morning. So what I will be discussing today is tips on how to ace your next job interview. So if you are graduating a student or you are already nakagraduate na that you are looking for a job, maybe this is the time that you can ace your next job interview. So I hope that these tips will help you near in the future. So by the way, my name is Shena Marie Filomena and I am from Innodata Knowledge Services Incorporated. Okay. So what I will be discussing today is of course the options you can choose after graduation. And then next is job hunting in the new normal and things you need to prepare for job interviews. And then lastly is the most commonly asked question during interviews. So, iisa-isahin natin yan later on. So, for the options you can consider after graduation, so we always ask ourselves kung ano yung gagawin natin after natin makagraduate. So, the first option that you can choose is, of course, to continue education. So, a lot of graduating students or yung mga nakagraduate na, they tend to pursue another level of education, which is the masteral, the PhD level, and some of these graduating students, nag-iisip na sila na ano ba yung mga short courses na pwede kong pasukan or mga certification. And then the next one is you need to, you can take a gap year. So this is for those students or mga kakagraduate lang na they feel exhausted for after how many years of studying. So they are thinking if they can relax or kumbaga magpahinga muna after nilang graduate. So that's also an option. There's no ano naman dyan. So pwede siyang gawin. It depends on you. And then the third one is start your own business. Ito yung mga gusto nilang maging own boss nila. Kasi they think na mas mag excel sila sa business kesa mag-start ng career kung saan sila or na-related dun sa course na kinuha nila before. So there's a lot of options that you can take or there's a lot of options of business that you can explore after your graduation. Then the next one or the last one is get an entry level job. So ito yung mga pagka-graduate, naghahanap na ng mga trabaho or kumbaga nag-explore na sa mga job portal. So ano ba yung mga pwede kong applyan? So yan. So pwede ka nang agad magtuloy-tuloy sa pag-work. The new normal. So we had this term during pandemic because pandemic hits us differently kasi napakadami na nagbago nung nag-start yung pandemic. So it's been I think more than 2 years now. It started 2020. So lahat ng businesses, so lahat ng daily lives natin, it was very different from pre-pandemic. So that's why most of the companies are transitioning to work from home arrangement or hybrid setup. So, merong mga company ngayon na since naka-adjust nila na sila during pandemic na naka-work from home lahat, tinuloy-tuloy nila until now. And some of the companies are on hybrid setup. So, yung hybrid setup kasi is there are specific dates or specific days na papasok ka sa opisina and there are some specific days naman na mag-work from home ka. So, kumbaga balance, nag-on-site ka and nag-work ka sa bahay. And some of the companies are completely transitioning na sa lahat sila, bumabalik na sa opisina. Okay? For the job hunting in the new normal, so ito yung mga usually ginagawa natin ngayon na naghahanap tayo ng trabaho after pandemic or during pandemic. So what we need to do is to maximize the use of job portal. So we have Jobs 180, just like this. We can explore a lot of job openings. We have JobStreet, LinkedIn, and etc. So there's a lot of job portals in the internet that we can explore. Then the second one is joining and sending application through social media. So ako personally, I also do this kasi there's a lot of Facebook group na nakadirect to the point na sa interest mong applyan or sa kung saang location ka man. So a lot of recruiters are posting job ads in Facebook or sa mga wall nila. Nakakakita tayo niyan na pwede nating pag-applyan. And I think there was a time na nagkaroon ng feature si Facebook na kung saan pwede tayo mag-directly apply sa mga companies. Okay, so we can use Facebook or other social media platforms. And then, joining virtual trainings, career fair, and talks. So, a lot of companies or a lot of institutions are offering webinars or talks na pwede nating pag-joinan. So, it can be face-to-face or it can be a webinar like this. So, we need to take advantage of that. Kasi it can help us, especially na nagsisimula tayo ng career natin. So, pwede tayo makakuha ng mga insights from other people, sa other professionals. So, yan. And then, yan. I prepared the 2 sets of tips on how are you going to ace the interview. So, the first one is face-to-face and then later on is the virtual. So, for the face-to-face, so I have tips here. And then, so, for the tips on how to ace interview, before the interview, so ito yung mga kailangan nyo gawin. Number 1 is to research about the company. So, libreng-libre lang po si Google. I know most of us have internet or phone, laptop, desktop. So, we can use that to research about the company. Why is it important for us to research about the company? Of course, it is very important for us to know kung ano ba yung mission, vision ng company, ano ba yung services na ino-offer nila, and if it is aligned with our preference. If, of course, tatanungin siya ng mga interviewers sa inyo kung do you have an idea about the company, so ano yung mga services na ino-offer. So para at least may masagot ka during those time na tinanong ka, you need to research about the company beforehand, before ka sumalang sa interview. The next one is to read job description. So sa dami-dami ng mga ina-applyan mo na mga openings sa iba't ibang company, there magkakaroon ng mix-up. So mamimix mo yung mga details sa mga ina-applyan mo. So it's also very important that basahin mo ulit kung ano yung job description para kapag sumalang ka sa interview, alam mo kung ano yung magiging laman ng interview mo at kung ano yung mga itetest sa'yo nung recruiter or ni interviewer. Okay? And then the third one is you need to prepare for the typical job interview questions. Ito, nag-google to. Or kumbaga natatanong na sa atin to during our college years kapag may mock-up interview. So ito yung usually tanong, why should we hire you? What's your biggest weakness? And where do you see yourself in 5 years? So later on, i-discuss ko kung paano natin siya sasagutin. In case tatanungin tayo nito sa interview. Okay? And then during the interview, what you need to do is very important. Isa sa napaka-importante is be on time. We need to be punctual. So kapag pinapunta tayo ng let's say 8 a.m., so make sure at least 15 minutes, 30 minutes before the interview, nasa area ka na or nandun ka na sa lugar kung saan ka i-interview. It's very important na ipakita natin na talagang passionate tayo at talagang interested tayo at talagang pinaghandaan natin yung interview na a-attendan natin. So it's very important na to be on time. Kasi let's say you are late with the interview, it will create an impression na hindi ka prepare or kumbaga hindi mo binigyan ng importansya yung interview na a-attendan mo. Okay? So, make sure kapag nag-schedule ka ng interview or pupunta ka sa interview, syempre kailangan mo isaalang-alang yung traffic. So, maglagay ka na ng adjustment sa time mo para on time ka pa rin darating sa interview mo. Second one is you need to bring resume, cover letter, or notepad. So, let's say kahit na-send na natin yung resume natin sa online or sa email, just make sure na may dala tayong reserva. Kasi there will be a chance na hingin nila ulit sa inyo para at least ready ka na may copy ka na ibibigay sa interviewer. The third one is you need to dress well. Of course, kailangan we need to show how professional we are. So, sa pananamit natin. So, let's say face-to-face yung interview mo, make sure na hindi lukot yung damit mo, malinis, neat, and then you can also ask the interviewer beforehand if ano yung dress code na need nila. Kasi may mga companies or may mga buildings kasi na may dress code. So, you need to check on that. Okay? Para at least, kumbaga sinasabi nga nila, we need to dress to impress. We need to impress the interviewer or the hiring manager. Diba? We need to be professional at all times. The fourth one is relax. So, of course, you need to relax if you are having an interview. Kasi kapag hindi ka relax, of course, mararattle yung isip mo and baka there was a chance na mag-lag yung utak mo, hindi ka makasagot ng maayos pag in-interview ka. Okay, so we need to be relaxed. So breathe in, breathe out, uminom ng tubig bago magpa-interview. Yan, pwedeng-pwede ang gawin. And then smile and be nice. So always smile. Ito, isa to sa mga very specific ako as a recruiter. So we need to be smile and be courteous to everyone. Kahit let's say security guard, janitor, helper, or anyone in the company or anyone in the building, we need to smile and be courteous to them. Kasi isipin na lang natin na later on kapag natanggap tayo sa trabaho na yon, ay magiging colleague natin sila. Okay? So that's why we need to smile. Ayan, batiin natin. We can give them good morning, good afternoon, 'di ba? So it will create a warm atmosphere to the workplace. The number 6 is be honest. So be honest with your skills. Be honest all throughout your interview. So kung ano lang yung skills na meron ka na nag-excel ka, yun lang. So hindi natin kailangan maggawa-gawa ng kwento kasi mind you that all the recruiters can feel or they can see if you are telling the truth or not. Okay? So, mas mabuti mas ipakita mo kung saan ka nag-excel kesa dun sa mga skills na hindi mo naman talaga forte. Okay? And then you need to show interest and passion. So, of course, kailangan makita ng interviewer na talagang gustong-gusto mo yung trabaho at gustong-gusto mo makapasok sa kumpanya nila. Because if you lack interest and passion, syempre mapipil ni recruiter yan. So, maybe baka isipin nila na, hindi naman ganun ka-importante dito yung ina-applyan niya. So, yan. So, it's very important na interested talaga tayo and passionate tayo sa paghahanap ng work. And demonstrate your expertise. So, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, importante pa rin na mas i-showcase natin yung expertise natin at sa mga skills na talagang nag-excel tayo. And then, after the interview, don't forget to say thank you. Siyempre, naglaan ng time si recruiter. So, yan. So, it's very important na mag-thank you tayo sa nag-interview sa atin. And then you need, if ever, there are some positions kasi na they ask you to do portfolio, a project exam after the interview, and they ask you to send it for a specific time. So we need to deal with any take-home assignment on a timely manner. So make sure na pasok sa time frame na binigay ni interviewer yung pagpasa natin. Okay? And then lastly is don't hesitate to ask for an update regarding your application. So, yung mga recruiter po natin, may mga lapses din yan. So, sa dami-dami ng mga pinaprocess nila, may mga times po talaga na hindi nila natatandaan kung sino na ba yung mga na-interview nila or na-process nila. So, they will appreciate if you can send them email to ask an update regarding your application. Maybe mabalikan ka nila or they can give you an update regarding your application. So, wala pong masama kung mag-follow up tayo. I think if you will ask me kung when is the best time to follow up, siguro 24 hours after the interview. Okay? So, let's go to the preparation for virtual interview. So, ito naman yung mga companies, let's say, na work from home at they process their applicants virtually na. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. One of the things that you need to do is to test your technology beforehand. Syempre, pag work from home, kakabit yan si technology. Kasi ito yung kailangan natin to work from home or to process virtually. You need to check your camera and microphone kung gumagana, kung maganda yung lighting, kung hindi naririnig ka ng interviewer, naririnig mo yung interviewer. And then next one is you need to check your internet connection. So mamaya naglalag or may delay, so mas maganda nang walang problema. So mas okay na i-check mo yung internet connection mo. The third one is you need to download necessary software that you will be using for interview. So beforehand naman, kapag nag-send naman ng invite si interviewer, they will give you the software that they will be using. So most of the software that the virtual interview, yung ginagamit sa virtual interview is Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, so some Messenger. So napakadami na kasing software for video interview. So napaka-importante niyan. So you need to download that beforehand. And then lastly, so let's say meron ka na ng lahat yun, na-test mo na, don't forget to test it again 15 minutes before the interview. Kasi mahirap na baka sa mismong interview magka-problema pa. So mas okay nang handa ka para sa smooth interview mo. Okay? And then, limit distractions. So, mahirap din kasi na kapag ini-interview ka na ang daming nangyayari sa background mo, 'di ba? Kasi it will create a distractions to you and of course the interviewer. So, you need to choose a room that is clean and professional looking. So, kung may white background or plain look, basta maayos siya tignan sa camera. And then, try to place your computer instead of your lap or couch. So baka mamaya ilagay mo yung laptop mo or yung laptop mo sa lap mo or sa couch kasi may tendency na gumalaw-galaw siya. So magiging shaky yung video interview mo. So syempre nakaka-distract siya. Then the next one is tell people you are sharing space with to be quiet and your area will be off limit during interview. This is for those people na limited yung space nila or maliit yung space nila. Or kung nakikishare ka ng room or marami kang kasama sa room, you can, I think, tell them na pwede bang for 30 minutes, wala mo nang distractions or wala mo nang mag-iingay, wala mo nang dadaan sa likod kasi may interview ako. I think they can understand you if you say that. Okay? Then use professional body language. Avoid unnecessary movement. So let's say baka mamaya galaw ng galaw yung ulo mo or naka-slouch ka. So make sure na nakaupo ka ng straight and then yung camera mo is nasa gitna talaga. Nakitang-kita yung mukha mo. Okay? And then you need to show enthusiasm like smiling and giving confidence with eye contact. So kahit naman in-interview ka virtually, so of course you need to show naman na nakikipag-eye contact ka and you are interested to the things that you are discussing during interview. Kasi baka mamaya naka-poker face ka lang or kumbaga nakasimangot ka, 'di ba? So you can just show a little nod do sa sinasabi ng interviewer or smiling. So but as long as you are confident, so yan. For the commonly asked questions during interview, so ito yung mga sinasabi ko kanina kasi napakadaming nasa-search natin sa Google ng mga questions. So, paano nga ba natin siya sasagutin? Okay, number one is tell me about yourself. Usually, ito yung mga introduction. Kumbaga, ito yung mga unang tinatanong sa atin kapag in-interview tayo. So, paano mo nga ba sasabihin or paano mo nga ba sisimulan yung pag-introduce sa sarili mo kapag tinanong ka na nitong question na ito? So, what you can do is to start discussing your current situation. So aside from your background or aside from your name or anything about you, so you can also tell about your situation like are you currently employed? May mga work experience ka na ba? Yan. So ano pinagkakaabalahan mo ngayon? Now, let's say unemployed ka or kumbaga bakit nga ba why are you looking for another job or another opportunity? You can tell them that and then work backwards by hitting key points along your professional journey. So you can tell them sa mga naging experience mo, ano yung mga ginagawa mo, ano yung mga skills na na-acquire mo during those time na employed ka, you can tell them that. And then you need to connect your background, interest, and qualification back to the job. So kung ano yung yung professional journey mo, ano yung currently interest mo, you can at least go back or connect that with the job that you are applying. Okay? The next one is how would you describe yourself? So the first thing that you can do or you can do is to be positive. So this is the time na ipakita mo yung mga good qualities mo. So dapat lahat naman pag nagsasabi tayo about ourselves, so dapat naman puro positive, syempre. And then make sure to align your qualities and characteristics with the skills they believe are required to succeed in the role. So always go back in connecting your skills, your interest, and your qualifications sa job na ina-applyan mo. Okay? Then, what are your greatest strengths and weaknesses? So, sa strength, share your most relevant soft skill. You can also share your positive qualities and attributes. So, just like kanina, so this is the time that you can tell them saan ka mas nag-excel. Ano yung skills na talagang confident ka gawin or skills na confident ka na meron ka. For the weaknesses, you can share your weakness and show that you are aware of it. Okay? So, dapat kapag sinabi mo yung weaknesses mo, makita nila na talagang aware ka din and you are willing to change that or you are willing to improve those weaknesses. Okay? So, it's very important na makita na nag improve ka. Makita ni interviewer na though may mga lapses tayo, we are very willing to learn, we are very willing to improve those weaknesses. And then, why do you want to work here? So the interviewer often asks this question to determine whether or not you took the time to research about the company and think critically about whether you're a good fit. So they need to check kung talagang interested ka sa ina-applyan mo. Okay? And then, yung katulad yung pinanggit ko, nung unang-una, na it's better for you to research about the company. Libreng-libre lang po mag-Google. Okay? So, if they know that you know the background of the company, it shows that you are really interested to work there. Okay? Para malaman mo ano ba yung services na ino-offer ni company, ano yung mission vision nila, and then align it to your preferences or sa own sa own goals mo, sa career goals mo. What are your goals in the future? So interviewers often ask this question for them to know whether or not you're looking to stay with the company long term. Ang mga company po ngayon, ang hinhanap na nila is yung mga empleyadong magtatagal sa kanila. Okay? So, isa to sa goal ng interviewer na makita na let's say magtagal isang employee 2 years, more than 2 years kasi parang ayon sa studies na 2 years yung parang minimum ng mga employees sa isang kumpanya. Okay? So, it's very important that you align that sa company na ina-apply mo, it aligns to your personal career goal. Okay? So, the next one is why should we hire you? So, bakit kanila kailangang i-hire? Bakit, di ba? So, this is the time that you need to highlight your skills and achievement for them to differentiate you from other candidates. So, this is, again, the time that you need to sell yourself, yung mga good qualities mo, para malaman nila kung bakit kanila dapat kunin kesa dun sa ibang na-interview nila. Okay? They might also ask this question to see how you handle difficult situation because this question has the potential to stump candidates. It can be challenging to explain why you are the best option for a job in a humble, thoughtful way. Okay? So, yun nga, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, so sell your good qualities and show them how passionate and how interested you are to work with them. So that's why they can pick you or they can hire you. Okay? For an additional tip, ito additional na to, own tip ko na to. So, you need to prepare for situational question. So, bakit ba natin kailangan mag-prepare para sa situational question? Is it because the interviewer need to check if how are you going to respond or how are you going to react for a specific situation? Okay? Kasi nasa corporate world na tayo, maraming pwedeng mangyari. And very important na malaman kung paano tayo magre-respond sa mga situation na yon kapag nasa workplace na tayo. Okay? So, it's very important na at least naka-prepare tayo sa mga situation na pwede nilang itanong sa atin. The next one is we need to create a neat and direct to the point resume. Ako personally as a recruiter, I really want a resume na direct to the point, clean looking. Wala naman ako against sa mga resume na maraming arts or maraming kulay. It's just that my own preference is I want to see the details, yung mga kailangan kong malaman. So, I also preferred, I know a lot of recruiter preferred na hindi na masyadong mahaba yung mga resume nila. So, you can just put your personal details like number, email address, or your location, your educational background, or kung may mga employment history ka na, you can put it there. So, yan, para at least makita na, isang tingin pa lang ni recruiter na doon na lahat ng mga kailangan nilang malaman. As advice for people you think you can contribute to your future goals. So, if you know someone na, let's say, successful sa career nila, if you know someone who is working on a corporate world or there's a field na gusto nyong puntahan, you can ask them. You can ask them an advice kung if ano yung need mong gawin, ano yung mga kailangan mo pang matutunan. So, it's very important for us to know or to gain insights from other people. Kasi it's very different from the yung kung ano yung nakikita natin sa school, sa corporate world or sa workplace. So, kasi ano siya, parang mas maganda na meron tayong personal opinion or personal insight from those people na nag-work na sa workplace. Okay? So, you can ask advice from them. And then, ito, lastly, for an additional tip, ito yung pinaka gusto kong ibigay or sabihin sa mga students, lalo na sa mga nakakausap ko, na don't be pressured by the success of others. So let's say nung college tayo na parang gusto natin na, ito yung mga naiisip natin na gusto nating mangyari sa career natin. May mga tao tayong gustong kasama during sa career natin. But in reality, there are some cases na it's not happening or kumbaga, hindi tayo sabay-sabay ng success. Kung may makita tayong friends or kakilala na ito na yung sweldo nila, ito yung posisyon na nila, ito yung meron sila, don't be pressured. Okay? May kanya-kanya tayong time. Okay? So just focus on your personal career growth sa journey nyo. Enjoy the journey. And kasi if we are pressured for those people na tingin natin na successful na and we compare it to our own success, mas lalong tatagal or kumbaga magkakaroon ng hindrance dun sa journey natin or sa career goal natin. Okay? So, what we need to do or ano yung best thing to do is to be happy with the success of others because in time, our own success will happen. Okay? So, congratulations if you're a graduating student, if nakagraduate na at nakaland ka na ng first job mo. So, congratulations. I hope to see all of you sa corporate world. If you want to reach us, you can reach us at jobs180.com/Innodata. You can see our vacancies there. Marami po kaming vacancies. I just want to tell people na naka-join dito that we are offering freelance work. Kahit estudyante ka, pwede ka pong mag-apply sa company namin. Kung gusto mong kumita ng extra, pwedeng-pwede po. Just visit our Facebook, Innodata Knowledge Services Inc., EACI Fun at Work. So maybe I can put the link sa chat box sa Facebook live para po malaman nyo kung ano yung mga vacancies na pwede nyong applyan. Our location are in Makati, Mandaue, and Legazpi. If you are there, malapit kayo sa location na pwedeng-pwede po kayong mag-apply. You can email us at talentacquisitionphilippines@innodata.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Miss Shena. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. Ayan. So ma'am, para makapag-isip sila ng question nila,
Yeah.
I'll go first. Ayan. So first
Sige.
question, ma'am. Is it okay to land a job that is not directly related to your course? So for example, ma'am, graduate ka na uh, business, tapos mag
Mhm.
apply ka into HR or in other fields. Is that okay po?
Actually, pwedeng-pwede. Actually, I have no against sa mga ganun yung career goals nila, yung nag-different sa mula sa tinapos nila. Kasi as of now, very flexible na tayo ngayon. So, yung mga skill set, pwede natin matutunan yan along the way. And then, it's just that may mga tao talaga na kumbaga, nag-iiba yung career path nila from graduation. So, napakadami ng situation or cases na ganyan na from graduation. Let's say, nakatapos sila ng nursing, pagka-graduate nila, iba yung course, iba yung career na tinahak nila or yung napasukan nila. So, it's very okay. Kasi it's more on the experience naman on how we, kung paano ka makakagain ng experience. And along the way, kapag tingin mo yun talaga yung career na para sa'yo, then you need to pursue that.
Ayan. Thank you for that, ma'am. Next question. Ano pong nangyayari if hindi nakaka-attend yung candidate sa scheduled interview? Will they get another chance or hanggang three chances lang tapos hindi na pwede mag-apply? Ano po yung take nyo dito?
So, para sa akin kasi it depends on the situation. If you confirm na ito yung schedule mo, and then hindi ka dumating, let's say, so of course, meron magkakaroon siya ng impression. Kasi you confirm it's very important that yung commitment natin. Pero let's say valid yung reason, maybe we can consider, we can have another schedule. But if let's say wala na talagang paramdam and then all of a sudden biglang humingi ng another schedule, of course, medyo pag-iisipan na natin yan. Maybe we cannot consider kasi it's very important to show commitment. So, kumbaga, kung sa interview pa nga lang, hindi ka na makapakita or hindi ka makakommit doon, so, paano pa kaya kapag nag-work ka?
Ayan. So, thank you for that. So, case in point, guys, if you confirmed on an interview, make sure you get there. Or otherwise,
Yes.
make sure you advise. Ayan. So,
Yes,
last
that's
na
it.
lang po, ma'am. Para po sa ating mga audience na mag apply na in the next few months after
Mm-hmm.
graduation nila, ma'am, matanong lang po, ano po yung parang expected timeline? Expect po nila na madami po silang dapat applyan? Tapos after 2 weeks, mapaprocess na po ba sila? Tapos after nung processing, automatic po ba onboarding na agad? So ano po yung timeline nun, ma'am, kapag nag-a-apply?
Mhm. So, kapag nag-a-apply kasi tayo, depende pa rin siya. It's case-to-case basis. Depende sa mga company. Okay, with the common kasi, let's say, may ma-posting naman kung urgently need na yung position na i-fill out. So, mas mabilis yung turnaround time nung position. So, let's say, pagka-interview mo, pumasa ka sa interview, pinag-exam ka, there are some cases na after a week mag-onboard ka na. So may mga ganong cases. Pero there are sometimes na let's say mga SME, subject matter experts yung ina-applyan natin. So medyo yung timeline yan is medyo matagal kasi maraming chine-check, maraming exam, maraming level of interview. So siguro kapag nag-apply ka, let's say on average level, nag-apply ka ngayong week na to, yung for onboarding, it can take 2 to 3 weeks. Okay? Yun yung parang normal, average. again, depende pa rin siya sa company at depende siya sa position na ina-applyan mo. Kung urgent ba or hindi. Or kung SME or hindi. So, depende talaga siya sa
Ayan.
recruitment process per
So,
company.
ayan. So, thank you for that, ma'am. So, ma'am, correct po ba na kung may time sila ngayon, process na nila yung mga ano nila, um, requirements like NBI, SSS, or
Mm.
other ano po, requirements?
Yes, oo, oo, mas okay. Mas okay na as early as now, nag-aano na tayo, nagpe-prepare na tayo para kapag nag-apply tayo ng trabaho, we can request NBI, kumbaga, we can request SSS, yung mga government numbers, we appreciate that. Especially there is some, yun nga, na mabilis yung hiring, na mabilis yung onboarding. Just a short share lang, nung graduate ako, just Friday ako graduate, ikaw Monday onboarding ko na. So, ganun siya. So, depende talaga siya. Kaya mas importante na mas ready ka as early as now.
Ayan. Ang bilis, no? Pwede pala ganun kabilis.
Mm,
So, thank you for sharing your stories, Miss Shena.
yes.
So, for everyone who's watching us live now, the link is on your screen. That's jobsready.com/Innodata. Ayan. So, please check that link for the vacancies and openings over at Miss Shena's company. Miss Shena, thank you again for being with
Thank
us. Have a great
you.
day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good day, everyone.
There we have it. So please stay tuned for the next speaker. She will be discussing hiring in the new normal. So this will be presented by Miss Maria Cristellita Estillore, Talent Acquisition Officer over at IQEQ. So Miss Cristal, we will be putting you up. There you go. Hi ma'am, how are you?
Good morning, Sherry.
Ayan. So ma'am, right now your deck is up. So,
Mm-hmm.
kindly give us the cue na lang po. Next slide, ganyan po. Para we know where to shift the next ano po, presentation. Ayan. So, if ever, ma'am, that there are glitches, I'll come in again to update you po. So, ma'am, for now, you have 20 minutes and then I'll be back for Q&A. Thank you, Miss Crystal.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. My name is Christelle. I am part of the talent acquisition team of IQEQ Philippines. I've been working for quite some time now, for 14 years, specifically in volume hiring, financial institution, and of course, BPO. So I'm also well experienced in end-to-end recruitment, from sourcing to onboarding. And I also have a degree in psychology. So good morning, guys. I respond to Christelle. Next slide, please. All right. Our agenda for today is how to get a job, the new normal, preparing for an interview with STAR interview method, virtual or face to face. Next slide, please. So, how to get a job in the new normal. Next, please. So here are some process that you have to do or prepare. So number one, of course, do your research. Do your research on the company that you want to work with and the position that's appropriate with your educational attainment. So if you have like target company, there are things that you have to consider. Of course, the position that you want to work with, and also the company. You also have to keep in mind that ano ba yung ginawa ng company with their employees during the lockdown and pandemic. That will also add in factor to the companies that you want to consider, of course. Second is refresh your CV or have a LinkedIn profile, sorry. So when it comes to writing a resume, um, it's actually a skills, to be honest with you. But of course, you have to do it the right way. So all you have to do, of course, gather your personal information, such as your email, working email address, and your cell phone. as well as your address and your educational attainment. So for you to be able to write down the skills that you think that you possess, check on the job specs of the company that you want to work with. They're hiring. Then pick out the things that likely key skills and experience. Then you can write it down in your resume. If you think naman na you have those skills and experiences, write it down in your resume, okay? Then third is think about your aims. So if you hope to achieve your next job title role, it's actually have you have to prepare and think about your aims in the short term and for long term as well. So if you're deciding to apply for this company, to have an experience and eventually move up the ladder, if not, work with a different company at least, you start doing it right the first time, applying to the company that you want to be trained. Okay. So fourth is account for new ways of working. So you have to be prepared on the work setup. What do we mean by this? So some companies require their employee to be on site. Others is work from home purely, and others as well as hybrid. Hybrid meaning you don't have to report to the office every day, but there are certain days that you have to be on site, like 2 times a week, 3 times a week. Then 2 times in a week that you'll be working from home. So you have to be open with those type of arrangements. And for the interviews, we have phone interviews and video interview. So you have to be prepared and dress appropriately to do it in a quiet place and also camera on during the interview. Okay, much better if you can access or log in the invite like 10 to 15 minutes early so that you can check your connections and your mic, okay, during the interview. Then, of course, don't forget during the interview, ask questions, okay? If the other party can hear you, all right, okay? Then, other companies require online skills test. So, for the online skills test, majority the top on my mind is actually the typing test. So some companies require new hires or new employees to do exams. With IQEQ Philippines, it's trial balance, and probably with some companies or employer, that would be typing test or aptitude test. So you have to research on that and you have to prepare on that, okay? Then, lastly, is questions to ask. So, once the interview is already done, you have to ask, of course, number one, your expectations or what would be the duties and responsibilities of the role that you're applying for, and also how the company treated their employees during the lockdown and the pandemic. So, what are the benefits? And if you're not yet comfortable asking about the salary, that's okay. As long as you ask the right questions, okay. And also, it's also okay to ask the recruiters on the timeline of the applications. So, like from the previous talk kanina, majority or the normal would be 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the candidates. All right. There. Next slide, please. Okay. So for this topic, next is how to use STAR interview method for success. Next slide, please. So, what is the STAR interview method? The STAR interview method is a technique used to answer behavioral interview questions in structured and compelling way. So, behavioral questions prompt job candidates to give specific examples of how they've handled past situations or challenges. So, on the next slide, please. we will discuss what STAR stands for, or the acronym STAR stands for. That is situation, task, action, and resolution. So for the situation, set a scene by briefly describing the situation, challenge, or event you faced. So, kumbaga, the recruiters will going to ask you about a specific situation, and so this is more of like a behavioral. So meron dapat beginning, middle, and end, which is situation, task, action, and your resolution. Then for the task, explain what your responsibility were in the situation, what role did you play. For the action, describe what steps you took to overcome the challenge or address a situation. And for the result, share what you have achieved through your action. Okay? So for the next slide, we will be, or I'll be presenting some samples of the STAR methods, okay? Next slide, please. Okay, the examples of STAR method in action. So as you can see here, or if you can read here, you can see the example of the answer of the candidate, okay? So the question is, give me an example of a goal you've set and how you achieved it. If you're going to apply the STAR method with this question, the scope of this behavioral question is determine how set goals and what steps you take to make sure you meet the objectives. So number one, situation. When I first transitioned into sales role company X, I was a bit shy meeting the first quarter sales target. So that was a situation. And for the task, this motivated me to not only meet my sales target during my second quarter, but exceeded it. So the action that the candidate took, I broke my goal down into smaller weekly goals and changed my sales strategy. I leveraged social selling to find new customers and develop relationship with them. I also asked the sales agent to coach me on the closing techniques and objection handling. So the result with this new strategy, I exceeded my sales by 10%. So there is a beginning like, so paano ka napunta dun sa, or how do you set your goals? So he set his goals by breaking down the target into smaller weekly goals so that he can achieve, in a month, he can achieve like a total goal. So I also asked like a guidance to his sales manager to coach him on what are the closing techniques and the objection handling. So that's the perfect example of STAR method. Okay. Then next slide, please. Okay. So for the next slide is the question is, tell me about the time you failed. How did you handle it? So for the STAR method application, you have to be honest, okay? Being honest about the time you failed to show you have integrity. Just remember to focus on what you've learned from the experience, okay? So this is, if you're going to use the STAR method, this is how you're going to answer the question. Situation. Shortly after I was promoted to a senior project manager, I was in charge of leading a project for a major client. This project would typically take about a month to complete, but the client was in a rush and asked if I could it ready in 3 weeks. So the task, of course, the employees a bit excited that it was his first project. Then he agreed. Shortly after, I realized I needed a bit more time to finish it and deliver work, quality work. So his action is I reached out to the client right away and apologized. I also asked for a 3 day extension, and they were generous enough to exceed the deadline. So the result is I managed to finish the project and deliver it before the extended deadline. However, I learned to manage my time better and never over promise on something that I can deliver. So, the interview is how tell me about the time you fail. So you have to be honest with them, and you have to focus on what the things that you have learned from that experience. So in this situation, the candidate overpromised, and shortly after, na-realize niya that he can't deliver the work after 3 weeks. So naging honest siya dun sa client that they they cannot deliver it in 3 weeks, so they ask for an extension. So there you go. It's a good example of the STAR method. Last slide, please. So can you describe a time people didn't see the things your way? So if you're going to apply the STAR method, behavioral questions worded this way are tricky. By author Mark Murphy explains that these questions don't give away the correct answer to see if you reveal your true attitude. In this case, what the question is trying to ask is describe a time you successfully persuaded someone to see things your way. So the situation, I recently led a brainstorming session. The purpose of this session was to create a brand awareness campaign for a product my company was launching. So the task, one of my teammates and I disagree on what direction we should take for the campaign. I wanted to focus more on the maximizing social media presence, and he wanted to go brand partnership route. So the action, I asked my colleague to have a one-on-one meeting with me. I asked him to share his idea and perspective. After listening and offering constructive criticism and feedback, I shared my ideas. So the result, the conversation helped me see blind spots in my strategy and improve it. I also persuaded my coworker to get on board with my strategy by explaining its rationale. As a result, I merged our ideas and created a successful brand awareness campaign, social media engagement, and website traffic for both saw an increase over 40%. So there. So for example, for this one, it's a bit tricky. The question is a bit tricky because it's more of how do you compromise and persuade your someone that's not on board with your idea. So of course, first things first, communication is the key for us to have an understanding and be open-minded with some other ideas and take it like an adult. So there. I think I'm good. Do you guys any have questions? Do you have any questions?
There you go. So thank you for that, Miss Crystal. Ayan. So to our audience, we are now open for questions. Ayan. So ma'am, I'll go first, no? Miss Crystal. Are you still there, ma'am? Na-blackout po yung screen nyo. Miss Crystal? Can you hear me? Miss Crystal? Are you still there? Can we check on Miss Crystal if she's still available? Ayan. Oh, I think we just lost her. Ayan, sige po. Okay. So we'll wait for Miss Crystal to come in. Ayan. I think we just lost her connection. Ayan. So apologies for that. So again, to our audience, please put in your questions here and I'll try to answer them on behalf of Miss Crystal. As for the link, we will be releasing this at the end of this webinar. Just one more speaker, guys. Okay, so let's introduce our next speaker. So our next speaker is from Makati Medical Center. Um, Here to discuss top skills employers look for when hiring. Ms. Sairah Joice Gipanao, HR Specialist for Talent Acquisition over at Makati Medical Center. Ms. Sairah graduated BSBA major in Human Resource Development Management at New Era University and currently taking a master's degree specialized in Human Capital Management at De La Salle University, Das Marinas. She is an HR practitioner with a continuous 7 years of experience in different facets of human resources, such as recruitment, employer relations, organization development, and compensation and benefits in different industries. She also had an experience as the recruitment head of a local manpower agency handling different variety of clients' manpower needs. Currently part of the talent acquisition team of Makati Medical Center as HR specialist, we welcome to the floor Miss Sai Gipanao. Ayan. Miss Sai, if you're ready.
Hi, do you hear me?
Hi ma'am, yes, we hear you.
Hi,
Ayan.
good morning po.
Good
Thank
morning.
you for that wonderful. Hello.
Can we test your camera and deck? You can start
Okay.
sharing just so we know if it's like
Okay.
functioning.
Okay. So, do you hear me now
There you
po?
go. There, ma'am. Yes, ma'am,
Uh,
we see you. And then I'm just waiting for your deck to load.
okay.
Ayan. So to everyone, the next topic is top skills that employers look for when hiring. So after this topic, there will be a question and answer, and then we will be releasing the attendance links. Ayan. Miss Sai, can I confirm if
Okay.
you're sharing your deck?
Yes, still uploading po.
Okay, sige ma'am. Ano ma'am, you can either present and then share screen and then entire screen, or you can upload your slides. What are you doing, ma'am?
Still uploading po yung slides po.
Eto na lang ma'am, click present and then share screen po para lumabas
Okay.
na siya ma'am on my end. Just open your presentation.
Okay, sige po.
So to everyone, the link for the speaker a while ago, that's IQEQ, is on your screen, jobsrank.com/IQEQ. So please go to that link if you want to check out vacancies over at IQEQ in Miss Crystal's company. So unfortunately, she lost her connection and she wasn't able to do the Q&A. Pero don't worry because on that link, vacancies and openings, makikita nyo naman doon. Pati yung mga job description and responsibilities for each position na pupuntahan nyo. Miss Sai, I see your screen. There you
Okay.
go. So, top skills employers look for when hiring. Can
Okay.
you just flip a couple of slides? Can you just click next, next, next? Just so I know that it's moving.
Okay.
There you go. Ayan, ma'am.
Okay po.
Sige po. Okay, ma'am. So, I leave it to it and I'll be back for Q&A. Thanks, Miss Sai.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful introduction. Again, my name is Sai. Currently, I am an HR talent acquisition specialist in Makati Medical Center. Part of my job is sourcing and screening of applicants. So today, what I will be discuss is what are the top skills employers look for when hiring. Okay. Okay, so first, is the communication skills. This includes skills in writing, speaking, listening, and presentation skills. Good communication skills are important in orders for others and yourself to understand information more accurately and quickly. Okay. What the employers look for is your ability to effectively communicate with your boss, suppliers, clients, peers, and others. Communication skills to include on your resume include writing, speaking, listening, and negotiating. Okay. Okay. Next is leadership skills. So leadership skills are one of the soft skills that many employers look for in candidates, and it can be helpful at all levels of your career. It This includes the ability to initiate, stand up, and guide others. From managing team to contributing to a project in a leadership goal, leadership skills help you motivate and others and ensures tasks are completed promptly and efficiently. Common leadership skills to put on your resume include active listening, dependability, the ability to give and receive feedback, and patience. Okay. Okay, third is teamwork. Teamwork includes the ability to working well with others, with either way clients, colleagues, managers, and other people in your workplace. Teamwork skills are an important asset to an employee who is part of an organization or who works with others individual in their daily operations. Regardless of your job title or industry, many employers consider teamwork skills a must when reviewing applicants for an open position. Um, Example of teamwork skills to highlight include in collaboration, honesty, communication, and then responsibility. Okay. Next is learning adaptability skills. Learning skills are skills that enable you to learn new things and adapt to new situation within the workplace. Meaning, this is how flexible you are in dynamic and ever-changing situations. This is especially important given in the ever-changing workplace and the need for employers to stay competitive by implementing new initiatives. Having good learnings and adaptability skills can set you apart from the candidates and show employers your willingness to learn and change when necessary. So one of the skills of of this learning aptitude include collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. Okay. Okay, next is self-management skills. Self-management skills are skills that allow you to manage your time and be as productive as possible within the workplace. These skills ensures you prioritize tasks effectively, focus on your professional growth, and contribute to your organization as a whole. Good self-management skills to include on your resume, like time management, organization, and self-motivation. Okay. Okay, next is computer and technical skills. This is the knowledge and ability to use computers and other related technology. Computer skill is a hard skill that is a requirement today because we are at the era of the computer. Most of the business operations, including recruitment, uses computer. So applicants now should have knowledge in computer. The basic requirements for resumes, depending on the position you're applying for an be a word processing, spreadsheet, social media, email communication, and PowerPoint for presentation. But in other positions, such as IT and computer programmer, the applicant should have in-depth knowledge in the use of computer. Okay, next is the problem-solving skills. It refers to the ability to manage challenging situation at work productively and positively. This is especially important for employees who work in the large organization or as part of a team, but they are often considered essential skills for nearly all occupations. Common problem-solving skills to include on your resume are communication, decision-making, and research skills. Okay, next is the positive attitude. This is the ability of being calm and cheerful when things go wrong. These also include on how you handle pressure in the workplace. And the last is the strong work ethic. Having a great work ethic ensures you can complete your tasks and manage your work effectively even when no one is regularly checking your progress. A strong work ethic is another excellent skills to highlight when applying for jobs. Employers want employees who they can trust to perform their duties and meet deadlines without having to micromanage them. Okay. So overall, these top skills employers look for when hiring are value added to all the candidates looking for a job. Employers can look for these skills in your resume, cover letters, and interview. So make sure to prepare when applying for your job. It is very important also that during the interview, you can provide examples and try to mention all skills that you have that are relevant for the position, especially the skills that were specifically mentioned in the job posting. Okay. So, thank you. So, for those possible or future applicants, you can join Makati Medical Center. Here's our website. Okay, thank you po.
Thank you so much, Miss Sai.
Okay.
So to everyone, we are now opening the floor for questions. Ayan. So
Okay.
I'll go first ha, para may time kayong mag-isip ng questions nyo. First question, Miss Sai. What is more important to you, technical
Okay.
skills or soft skills? What would you prefer if you had to choose?
Ac- Actually, of course, it always we will depend recruiters I always depend on the ano naman po, the qualification needed. Like for example, if I'm hiring for a IT position, of course, what should I need to find is a person who has a knowledgeable in technical skills. But in a position of like for example, admin work or HR, of course, it is very important for the soft skills naman po. Like for example, communication skills, ayun po. Kasi of course, in line of the recruiters naman, if I'm looking for recruitment, of course, it is very important on how you handle the applicants and then on how you communicate with them naman po.
Ayan. Thank you for that, Miss Ai.
Okay.
Next question. Have you hired people who are based in the provinces po? Like non-NCR provinces? Have you hired before? And what is the usual process po? If for example, they would be coming from for example, Bicol area or Central Luzon, ganyan, North Luzon, ganyan po. What is the process? Dapat po ba
Okay.
willing sila to relocate, mga ganyan, ma'am?
Yes po. With regards on that, based on my experiences, of course, I'm handling kasi medical position or most probably is the nurses. So most of them kasi na applicants ko is galing from like for example Bacolod, Bicol, and then Zamboanga. So I experienced naman for that. And then I'm asking them if they can asking the applicants to relocate kasi one of the examples, some of them have a relatives here in Manila. So, mas okay yung ganun. But then, may mga applicants kasi talaga na they are very willing to relocate. So, ayun talaga yung mas okay na willing sila mag-relocate within the Metro Manila or nearby Makati Med naman po. So, for the
Ayan, thank you
process
for
naman po, I think I will give them time. Okay.
Sige ma'am, go ahead.
Okay. For the process na okay. For their process naman, of course, hindi naman sila immediately talaga na, for example, okay, hybrid yung ano natin. Virtual yung interview natin, and then the final interview is also virtual. So for the commitment period, dun sa may pinaka pre-employment medical exam nila, they are required to come here in Makati Med naman para makandak yung physical assessment nila, yung laboratory test nila. So, they need to commit naman kung kailan yung time na possible sila to come here in Makati Med naman. Ayun naman po. So, magmi-meet kami
Ayan.
doon sa time period na yun. Kasi hindi naman pwede na bukas pumunta ka na, hindi naman pwede. Kasi syempre, may iba naman is magbubook pa sila ng flight nila. And then, they need time to prepare their requirements also. So, ayun, it's a matter of commitment pa rin naman po sa time.
Ayan. Okay, thank you for that, ma'am. Ma'am, can we just follow up lang po, no? Dun sa mga hired po from farther locations, farther from NCR, and they will be reporting to NCR. How are you preparing them po with regards to transition that they will have to do, especially if fresh graduate, ganyan po. Paano po sila prepare ng company regarding dun sa skill set na kailangan or dun sa mga trainings na kailangan? Are you with them until makapag ano sila makapag-adjust sila fully doon sa bago nilang hindi lang bagong environment, bagong company and bagong position kung fresh grad po. Ayan.
Okay. For the process naman, I think, of course, pag nag-meet kami on-site sa Makati Med, syempre, sinasabihan ko na sila or sinasabihan ko na sila for the next process. Like for example, virtual training muna for 1 week. So, Monday to Friday, compensated naman so that they will be aware. So, paano for example, ma'am, paano po kaya kasi may iba, for schedule pa yung kanilang mga PRC license, yung mga ganyan. So, I will give them time naman, like for example, 30 days to complete their requirements during their training. So, during their training until naman, I always be there naman for the applicants. If they have a question, kahit nasa training na sila. Of course, kasi sa site ng recruitment, totally, hindi naman porket recruitment is totally, doon ka lang sa circle mo na taga-recruit ka lang. So, syempre, here in Makati Med, we still guide the newly hires pa rin naman po. If they have a question, kahit minsan hindi na related yung tanong, okay lang. Basta as long as we we give them a feedback or answer to their queries naman. Ayun po.
Ayan. Thank you for that, ma'am. How about yung performance po ng mga fresh grads right now? Yung mga recently hired po na fresh graduates sa Makati Med. Can you tell us about the skills na sa tingin nyo po ay kulang pa or kailangan pa nilang i-improve para po makapag-prepare sila, for example? Kung meron po kayong gustong ipaalala sa kanila, ano po yung mga yun?
Kasi there's different employees talaga or applicants na during the onboarding. So, most of applicants naman, actually, one of their feedback is natutuwa daw sila. Kasi during the OJT, sabi nila, this is for RNs or registered nurse. During their OJT daw po is lang daw, virtual, parang ganun. So, nung nag-training sila, sabi nila, ma'am, kinakabahan po kami. So, but then, I advise them na this is your profession. So, be yourself and then boost your confidence lang naman. So ayun lang naman po yung advice ko lagi sa mga applicant na parang yung especially yung iba kasi na-assign sa OR, ayun yung madalas kong nakausap. So sabi mo ano, nagti-training na po kami sa
Natatakot.
OR. Natatakot na po kami kasi ano na po kami, deployment na po kami sa unit. Sabi ko, di okay lang yan. It's part of the process. Actually, kahit di naman ako nung baguhan, kahit hindi ako registered nurse, sabi ko, basta be yourself lang. And then, ipakita mo kung ano uh, yung knowledge mo and then yung skills mo na mapapakita mo sa unit manager mo. Ayun naman. Basta, ano lang, be yourself lang lagi.
Ayan. Thank you for that. Ma'am, may question po si Sir Glenn. From
Okay.
Glenn Ariola. Ma'am, may bearing po ba sa pag-hire ng mga applicants yung mga institution kung saan po sila graduate? Ayan. Napapractice po ba ito, ma'am, sa recruitment? Ano po sa tingin niyo?
Actually, here in Makati Med naman po, wala naman po tayong bearing or specific university kung ano yung dapat natin kunin na applicant. So, as long as, kasi syempre, we ano naman we avoid discrimination na to get the ano. But may other company they it's part of their management prerogatives. But then here in Makati Med naman, we recruit naman in any institution naman po. So wala naman tayong bearing for there.
Ayan, good to know, ma'am. Ayan. So, to our audience, making sure that you have no more questions bago po natin i-clear si Miss Sai, bago po natin siya magbabay. Sayang naman yung oras niya, no? Para ma-maximize natin. Ayan. So, keep it coming. Babasahin ko lang yung mga reminders natin. So, please apply online. The jobs180.com/Makati Medical Center. So that is MMC's career site. So please visit the link or you can do your research like prior to graduation. Pwede na kayong maghanap ng mga positions na pwede niyong puntahan. Hindi lang po yan sa mga healthcare related. Meron din po silang back office or support positions po na pwede niyong applyan kung hindi naman kayo healthcare or health-related na courses. Ayan. So, thank you to Miss Sai for being here
Thank you
today.
so much din po.
So, Miss Sai, parang wala na po silang question. Parang naintindihan naman po nila ang inyong deck. Ayan. So,
Okay
Miss
po.
Sai, thank you so much for being with us this morning. And sana po
Okay.
ma-invite po namin kayo ulit for
Yes
other
po.
talks with other universities. Thank you,
Thank
thank
you
you.
po. Thank you po.
Miss
Thank
Sai,
you.
have a great day po.
Have a great
Ayan.
day po.
Ayan. So, thank you sa ating mga speakers. So, if ever, guys, na meron pa kayong tanong, pwede nyo i-shoot sa Jobs 180 Facebook page. So, meron kaming mga team na dedicated para magsagot ng mga inquiries ng mga job seekers natin. Ayan. So, now, okay. Ayan. So, if ever po na meron kayong concerns or regarding the webinar or regarding the activity later, because I was told there's another activity. So, that one naman po will be hosted and powered by the CSPC Guidance Office. Ayan. Miss Kiara, do you have final announcements? Do you want me to put you up? There you go. Miss Kiara, I'll put you up.
Okay po. Yeah,
Ayan.
thank you
Ma'am,
very much, Miss Shari, and to our esteemed resource persons. So later po, we invite again our graduating students to attend the labor education for graduating students PM sessions, which will include labor laws and safe spaces in the workplace. So that will be powered, just like what Miss Shari mentioned earlier, that will be sponsored and powered by the CSPC Guidance Center. So that would be all. So see you, CSPC graduating students later in the afternoon. So please keep posted po sa aming CSPC Guidance Center Facebook page. Thank you po.
Thank you, Miss Kiara. Have a great afternoon po. Sana po
Thank you
maging
po sa ating
successful ang
resource
event this
speakers.
afternoon. Thank you, Miss Kiara. Okay, so there you go. So to everyone, please do not forget to answer the evaluation and the attendance form. So we will be putting this in the comment section. So to our tech, can you put it nga sa sa comment section and pin it para hindi makalimutan ng ating job seekers. So here is the attendance link, and there is another one for evaluation link. So next next slide sa ating Canva team. Ayan. So please be advised that recordings of this webinar will be posted via the Facebook .com/jobs180 and our YouTube channel. So for further information, please make sure to follow your school's Facebook pages for webinars and other announcements regarding career and placement activities. So for the event later, please make sure that you're following the CSPC guidance page, if any. And so please watch out for the next set of webinars that we are hosting for other schools and many others. So we have a lot this week and next week. So please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed, and you're welcome to join in any of those sessions. So libre pong mag-join ng mga webinar natin na hosted sa jobs180.com Facebook page. Ayan. So with that, our session ends today. Thank you so much. And we look forward to having you guys in the workforce. Advanced congratulations to everybody. And thank you for attending this webinar today. So thank you all. Have a great day.